Normally, what I usually do around this point in time is I usually just do one news article. But, the derp, ladies and gentlemen, have really hit the fan. Because not only do we have one article to deal with, but I'm going to hit you with three. That's right, I'm going to hit you with a triple pound of derp. I hope you're ready for this. So let me just switch it over because it's not 68 degrees. I can tell you that right now. It's 53 degrees here in LA. So we're going to start with something that I got this morning that I said I was going to do, and I was going to have my say about this. And yes, I am going to do all three of these articles because parents these days are getting stupider and stupider every time something like this happens. So here we go with article number one. Arizona students' Halloween costume drawings cause firestorm at school. One moment. Where is my drink? Right here. Yes, I need some nerve tonic to just deal with just deal with stupidity. Hold on. Yes, I just gargled with some mellow yellow. Deal with it. All right, let's take a look at this. 8-year-old boy threatened expulsion because of his drawings. Okay, let's see what this entails. They all look like ninjas with guns. Ninjas with guns. Okay. Where one pair of parents saw innocent drawings of ninjas and soldiers, school administrators reportedly saw disturbing and threatening images. Right now I'm really pulling on my beard as I'm reading this. Last week, the parents pulled their sons out of Scottsdale Country Day School in Arizona after the school's headmaster reportedly threatened to expel their 8-year-old child over a set of drawings. According to the father, the drawings of a soldier, ninja, and Star Wars characters were meant to depict Halloween costumes. However, school administrators were upset that the drawings showed each character holding either a knife or a gun, according to CBS local affiliate KPHO TV. Oh. The school headmaster was also reportedly upset about what he saw as violent passages from the child's journal, including ones about scenarios with killer zombies. The child's father, Jeff, whose last name was omitted from the report, told KPHO that the journal contained other passages about saving the world and that his son has no history of violence. Kathy Prokopov, the school's director of operations, told Huffington Post that reports of the incidents have been inaccurate. While she could not elaborate on what happened on confidentiality reasons, she said the student was not threatened or expelled from the school. The charter school's handbook states that any behavior that is deemed threatening, such as violent behavior, drawings depicting weapons, blood, or aggression, can be grounds for expulsion. A number of schools across the country appear to have cracked down on students who use drawings, food, or toys to depict guns and violence. In recent months, students have been suspended for such actions, such as chewing pastries in the shape of guns or having gun keychains. I know there are plenty of, I'm sure there are plenty of teacher controversies. But before I actually get to that, I just want to say this. Where should I start? Okay, most of you have seen the inside of my room. I will admit, most of the characters that you see either have swords and maybe a gun, or maybe something less to it than that. I'm looking at my Marvel poster, and I see a bunch of superheroes with different types of weapons. Let me correct that. Not only superheroes, but supervillains as well. Point blank, I see nothing wrong with what I'm looking at. On the side, I see Spider-Man, Hulk, Captain America, and Wolverine. They don't really use weapons. Except for Wolverine, his only weapons is his claws, and Captain America only uses his shield as a means of defense. I have so many posters depicting heroes. That's what it means to be a hero to me. I mean, I basically have, pictures of heroes surrounding my wall. I mean, you don't see anything considering that of, say, evil or satanic. And, really, let me see. Let me take a look at this. Okay. I see 2 ninjas. And possibly, I see a ninja. I see something like a stormtrooper and probably say a soldier. Let's just say I'm looking at these like that. Okay. Does anybody remember the game Shinobi? Joe Musashi, the first Shinobi. Joe Musashi fired off shurikens and a gun. Let me remind you, Joe Musashi, before he basically turned into full-blown ninja. He was a ninja, but no. He fires shurikens and a gun as powered up. Later games, he fired kunais or dirks. He uses his sword for close combat. And on various occasions, have a dog fighting alongside him. I'll give another example. Strider Hiru. He uses his cipher. His cipher is something like a powerful ass sword that is more than likely splits you in 2. This school, I swear to God, I can understand. You don't like violence. But you shouldn't do this, because you shouldn't pull a kid out just because he's drawing what he feels is heroic to him. To me, that's like you're messing with his creative you're messing with creative control. That's what you're doing. You're messing with creative control. To me, that's what I feel. You're messing with creative control. You should not do that. Okay? Secondly, I'm considered a teacher. And if I was at this school, I would be on this kid's side. And I don't care if I get thrown out of school. I don't care if I lose my pay for it. I don't care if I lose my benefits. The point is, I've said this to my students, and I'm going to repeat this. There is no right or wrong in poetry. And in this case, art. This is considered art. There is no right or wrong. It's the only thing is that people will get the wrong idea. So you have to explain it. You have to explain what these pictures mean or what the poem means to you. They will understand, and they won't understand unless you tell them what the meaning behind it is. It's a lot like writing. People read a book, and sometimes they want an understanding of what the book means. Sometimes the author will give side notes about what the book means or what is being said about the character. But not often does this happen. I'm an author, and I don't often tell what the story is about. You just have to read it for yourself, or I often read it out to you. But this is stupid. You're getting threatened by you get a threatened expulsion just because of drawings. Come on now, just come on. I feel that certain schools just need to grow a pair. They really need to grow a pair of balls. Because I'm sorry, but to me, this school has been, in a word, pussified. This school is pussified. I can understand after 9/11 and all that. Yeah, you want to protect your children, but you can't protect them forever. They had to take up arms. They have to stand up for themselves, just so they can be upstanding individuals. As an artist, I'm an artist. I write books, so therefore I'm an artist. As an artist, I see nothing wrong with this. It's just a drawing. And yet you take it out of proportion and say, oh my God, these are violent. Oh my God. Oh no. What you need to do is, this is what you need to do. Young man, let me tell you. This is violent, and this is against school policy. Now what I want you to do is I want you to erase this mess right now, or else you're going to get expelled from school. Sounds like something familiar. Let's move along. Let's see what kind of teacher controversies happened here. And there's 37 of these things. Wonderful. Let's look at these. John Rossi, a Washington State student, was terrorized in a bullying attack by peers, and at some points by the teacher. The incidents occurred in February at Gig Harbor Middle School. Cell phone footage shows more than a dozen students dragging the then 8th grade boy around the classroom, carrying him by his legs and arms, burying him under chairs, riding on his feet, and stuffing his socks in his mouth. The antics last about 15 minutes while teacher John Rossi watches and later joins in. Moving on. Texas teachers. A Houston, Texas teacher and teacher's aide have been removed from their classroom for allegedly disciplining their pre-K students by placing them in custodial closets they nickname monster closets. Students locked in closet. Doctors report rise in kids eating detergent. What the fuck? Laurie Bailey Cookcomb, a 47-year-old Zephyrus High School science teacher in Zephyrus, Florida, is under fire after photos of her students wearing dog collars as punishment for bad behavior surfaced on Facebook. Luis Losos. Clayton High School principal Luis Losos resigned following a leave of absence after an accusation that Losos had created a Facebook profile pretending to be a student named Susie Hairston. Patricia Mulholland, a middle school student in South Carolina, has been accused of dragging a student under a table during class, telling the boy, "This is what the Nazis do to Jews," police said. The 12-year-old student said he got up to sharpen a pencil at Bluffton Middle School on Wednesday when Patricia Mulholland grabbed him by his collar and said, "Come here, Jew," police said. The teacher then dragged him 10 feet under a table and made him comment about the Nazis, according to police. North Carolina teacher... Oh, God. A state investigation had been opened at Hudson Middle School in Caldwell County, North Carolina, following allegations that a teacher forced a student with special needs to sit in a cardboard box as a disciplinary measure. Okay, first off, I'm gonna pause this right here, and I'm gonna share this. I'm gonna actually share this because I used to be one of special ed myself. And let me tell you something. Let me tell you something right now. I had my best friends in high school were in special ed. They were much better than the kids. They were much better than the kids that I sat during my 12th year of high school, because I got transferred to a different track. Yeah, we were on track system. I was on track B, and supposedly the counselor saw that I was a genius and I shouldn't be with special ed. I shouldn't be in a special ed course, but I should be in the honors course. But I can tell you one thing. I'm going to be honest and say, don't fuck with my people, okay? Do not fuck with them, okay? It's hard enough that people like us have to deal with the bullshit that we got to deal with on a daily basis because we're treated different. Yeah, we're treated different just because we have special needs. Some of us do not walk well. Some of us can't even speak well. Some of us don't even, look right. This kid right here, he doesn't look right. But that shouldn't take away from who he is. He could be a genius for all I care. And yet to be treated like that, I swear, man, that in itself really just upsets me to the point of just wanting to grab a teacher, punch him square dead in the face, kick him in the fucking nuts, then in the ass, then probably do a fucking giant swing and send them all across 2 buildings. Fucking assholes. Goddamn motherfucking dipusacks. I ought to shoot their motherfucking asses for treating kids like this. Kids like this just... Moment. Jack Conkling. That's a name that I will forever remember. Of Prairie Hills Middle School social studies teacher and Buhler High School assistant women's basketball coach in Buhler, Kansas, is under fire after equating being gay to a murderer on his Facebook profile. Some people, I swear, some things you should not say on Facebook. Because you are going to get flagged. You are going to get targeted. But do you honestly give a shit? No! Fucking dumbass. New York teachers. Teachers at a Brooklyn elementary school are accused of giving their students the answers on standardized tests. In return for high scores on those tests, teachers at Public School 94 were allegedly offered smaller classes and fewer non-English speaking students. Poetic justice, I say. Georgie High School teacher. Georgie Marshall High School teacher. A Virginia high school English teacher was under investigation for allegedly asking the only black student in the class to read a poem in a blacker manner. Jordan Shumate, a ninth grader of George Marshall High School in Falls Church, Virginia, says he was reading aloud Langston Hughes' Ballad of the Landlord when teacher Marilyn Bart interrupted him. She told me, "Blacker, Jordan, come on, blacker. I thought you were black," Shumate said. Okay. I'm also going to stop here just to say, there's black, and then there's black normal, and then there's the other kind of black. You guys know me, you guys see me. I'm not that kind of black that you think I am. I'm a Native American, really. Because I'm more Native American than I am black. It's in my blood. I may look black, but I don't act black. I had to say this. This is what you would hear in normal speak of, say the projects are ghetto. Yeah, nigga, what the fuck you say, motherfucker? I'll kick your motherfucking ass, bitch. That's ghetto black. That's as black as you can possibly get. No, blacker will be this. Yes, sir. What, sir? Yes, master. Yes, master. We ain't like that. We're not like that. It's not like that, okay? So, blacker would mean you want to talk slave talk. Sadly, we've risen above the hate. You gotta rise above the influence and the hate. That's all I'm gonna say there. Ignorance, folks. Ignorance. Malibu teacher. Teacher at Malibu High School in Malibu, California, was under investigation after 9th grade student Dion Evans went to the local authorities claiming the educator slapped her 6 times for not bringing her notebook to class. First off, I got slapped 9 times with a dumbbell and I didn't get brain damage, thank God. I mean, I mean, okay, there must have been a reason. Like, it's not like she forgot to. But even if she did, is that really the reason why you should do that? That's uncalled for. God damn. I mean, that's really uncalled for. Slapping a student 6 times and not bringing her a notebook. Sometimes you don't know. It's like this. Some students have a lot going on their heads, and time is just not one of them. I'm sorry. There's just it's like it just happens. It's like sometimes you're rushing and you're trying to go from point A to point B. You can't really do that, and you're just rushing, and sometimes you just kind of miss. Sometimes you just it just happens. You just have a moment of blank. It just happens. It's normal. It's pressure, but it's normal, and it's a damn shame that shit like this have to happen in certain schools. Georgia teacher. A kindergarten teacher in Georgia has stirred controversy after presenting one of her students with the Bermuda Triangle Award. What the fuck? Honoring the student's desk, or the place where things go in but never come back out. Moving on, that's stupid. Kathleen Piles, a math teacher at North End Middle School in Waterbury, Connecticut. Waterbury, Connecticut? Seriously? I went to Waterbury last year when I went on vacation. I never knew this shit was happening there. Was put on paid leave while student officials investigate allegations that she addressed a black student with racist remark. Parents in the NAACP spoke out during a Board of Education meeting, accusing Piles of inappropriately calling a student black boy when she couldn't remember his name. Roll sheet. Roll sheet. Remember that. Roll sheet. That's what it's there for. If you cannot remember a student's name, you can calmly say, I forgot your name. What's your name again? Or just look on the freaking roll sheet. That's what the roll sheet is for. Just to help you remember their names. Every goddamn semester, you're going to have a different batch of students come in your class. Be they good or ill, whether they're geniuses or practical dumbasses, you're going to have to remember their names. You don't have to call them out by some kind of derogatory, and say, you cracker over there, hey, chink, hey, Chico, yeah, essay. Oh yeah, you, nigger, what's your name? Look on the roll sheet. That's all I'm gonna say. Look on the roll sheet. Look on the fucking roll sheet. Moving on. Union Elementary School official. Parents in Clinton, North Carolina. Goddamn, were you? They're even more fucked up in your area than my area. Fuck. We're outraged after assistant principal gave a third grader a strip search there. What? The Union Elementary School official believed the boy had stolen money and ordered him to strip to his boxers. What? God damn it! I thought the clergy was bad. This is even worse, and I do mean the high officials. Moving on. Florida teacher. I feel bad for those in Florida right now. Tampa Bay, Florida school teacher was suspended for 3 days without pay after allowing one of her students to write and present a speech that criticized a former Oakstead elementary teacher by name. What? If you're doing something like this, you're not doing your job. You deserve to be fired. Matt Hansen, a 38-year-old teacher, and look at that face. That face is something a mother could love. For the Mount Zumwalt School District in O'Fallon, Montana, has been charged with felony possession of school pornography after a local cybercrimes unit found that he allegedly videotaped 80 male students undressing. Sick fuck. Stephen Hudson. Diane John, the mother whose 15-year-old son suffered a beatdown at the hands of a much larger teacher. Stephen Hudson sought criminal charges against the offending public school dean and sued the city for $5.5 million after being shown surveillance footage of the incident. I got nothing. Steve McClellan and Billy Madewell. I'm pretty sure. The Scholars Academy principal Steve McClellan and assistant Billy Madewell have both lost their jobs at the Quartzsite, Arizona school after the two were caught partially making out on video. Get a room. That's all I'm going to say. You know, I see nothing wrong with this, but really, get a fucking room. Shit. Audrey Grabarkiewicz. I don't care. Grabarkiewicz. A 40-year-old preschool teacher at Lake Bowen Baptist Church. Oh, God. In Spartanburg, South Carolina, managed to avoid jail time despite being arrested for throwing alcohol and sex parties for teens last year. People like this need to be thrown in jail. You are a horrible person. You're not evil, you're horrible. Texas teacher, again. A Texas teacher lost her job after ordering more than 20 kindergartners to line up and hit a classmate accused of being a bully. They really believe in corporal punishment. The teacher of a suburban San Antonio school is accused of orchestrating the slugfest after a younger teaching colleague went to her seeking suggestions on how to discipline the 6-year-old, according to a police report from the Judson Independent School District. I'm going to say this, more teachers need to do that. You know, just say, you know, because like I said, I have mixed feelings. And usually these mixed feelings just lead to me believing that you could do it for the good or the ill for it, but that depends. I'm just gonna say more teachers need to do that. I mean, if parents don't tell these kids, you know, you need to stand up and defend yourself. If somebody disrespects you in sort of way, slug them. That's what my dad told me. I mean, the kids have to stand up for themselves in some way. So I kind of applaud this teacher for doing that. Just because it seemed right at the time. But then again, hey, if your kid's going to be an asshole, then sure, they deserve the beating that they deserve. Little douchebag! Anyway. Marcy Rubenstein, Bronx teacher, allegedly duct taped a rowdy student to his chair while other classmates laughed and pushed him around after she became irritated that the student repeatedly got up during a test. Duct tape a student. No, he deserved that. He deserved that. He deserved that. He deserved that. He deserved. It's like, if you're not going to sit still, I'm going to have to basically pull out corporal punishment. That's corporal punishment right there. It's like when talking fails, actions prevail. Because I went through that. I went through that when I used to teach first grade for 5 years. I went through that shit. I did paperwork mostly, but I basically had to go through that shit. And even now, when somehow I'm being called back in, so we need you around, Mr. Izzy. So you think my You don't think my senses are real sharp? They're deadly sharp. Let me tell you, they're deadly sharp. Moving on. Samuel Fees, Indiana teacher Samuel Fees, was fired from Highland High School. Highland High. I think of that, I'm starting to think about Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I can't do Butthead very good, but moving on. After he was arrested and charged in December 2011 with multiple counts of sexual misconduct with a minor, child molestation, criminal confinement, child solicitation, and attempted child seduction. You, sir, are a sick fuck. John Freshwater, Ohio's science teacher John Freshwater, was fired in early 2011 after being accused of preaching religious beliefs in class and keeping a Bible on his desk. Freshwater appealed the firing, but a judge upheld the decision in October in the same year. So I worked in a private school, and they mainly had Bibles. It was part of the curriculum. They had to do Bible verses and whatnot. I've got nothing on that. Really, I've got nothing. Jill Lyle, substitute teacher in Santa Fe, New Mexico, was fired in November 2011 after she was reportedly found passed out drunk while on the job. You dare need a man. Sean Loftus, a Florida again. A Florida substitute teacher who starred in the gay porn films under pseudonym Cullen O'Neill lost his teaching job in October 2011 after his X-ray activities came to light. Yeah, you deserve that, asshole. Andrew Harris, a science teacher at Glacier Creek Middle School in Cross Plains, Wisconsin, first lost his job for looking at porn at work. The school district decided in March 2012, however, that he would be offered to be reinstated and given back pay and benefits estimated to $200,000. He deserves to lose his job for doing that. Bernadette Camacho, a 39-year-old teacher in Queens, New York, was fired from Hillcrest High School in January 2012 after reportedly telling students they had their brains in their ass and attempting to bribe them to keep quiet. Some kids need to be told, yeah, you got your brains in your ass. You know why? Because you got shit in your brains. You got shit up here, and your brain is down here. Instead of it being up here and your shit being in your ass. Therefore, it kind of makes sense. Why does that remind me of Lean On Me? It kills your brain cells, son. It kills your brain cells. Moving on. Unnamed teacher. An unnamed teacher at Tallulah Elementary School in Tallulah, Louisiana, was fired in March 2012 after she failed to notice two third-grade students allegedly having oral sex under the classroom table. What? What the fuck do they know about oral sex? I blame the parents. Fuck that shit. I blame the parents. DC teacher. A teacher at the Friendship Public Charter School in Washington, D.C. was fired after she allegedly taped Christian Washington, a 9-year-old vision-impaired student, to his classroom chair. What? Some things I'm just like, what? Next, Another Washington, D.C. teacher was fired in March 2012 for sending home violent, morbid, and traumatizing math problems to third grades at Center City Public Charter School's Trinidad campus. Okay, let's read this, shall we? Math problem number 1. Green aliens landed in Chicago and rounded up 1,479 math teachers. The bloodthirsty aliens then sucked the blood of 828 teachers and left them for dead. The aliens tied up the rest of the teachers and marched them into 3 UFOs. If there was an equal amount of poor math teachers in each UFO, how many of the teachers were in each UFO? Oh, I ain't touching that. Y'all, that's fucked up. I'm sorry. That is straight up fucked up. Singapore, third grade. Yeah, y'all, that's a fucked up problem. I'm sorry. What? Oh God, this shit. Brooke Harris says she was let go from her position at Pontiac Academy for Excellence in Pontiac, Michigan, in March after attempting to help students organize a hoodie-themed fundraiser for the family of Trayvon Martin. In this AP photo, a man wears a hoodie and a scarf with a likeness of Trayvon Martin during a 1,000 hoodies march for Trayvon Martin event Thursday, March 2012 in Minneapolis. Yeah. I'm gonna go along with stupid. I'm just going stupid. Joanna Hamilton, 4th grade teacher, was fired from the Southland Christian School in South St. Cloud, Florida. God damn! In 2009 because the child she was carrying was conceived 2 months before she and her husband married. This is why in relationships, you take care of the person you say you love. This is how relationships get fucked up. Promise, cherish, and enjoy the fact that, somebody loves you for who you are. Doesn't matter if you're married or not. And if you are married, you better hang on to that. You better hang on to that person. Shit. Emily Hurks, Indiana teacher. Emily Hurks says she was fired from her Roman Catholic school, St. Vincent de Paul in Fort Wayne, for using in vitro fertilization to try to get pregnant. Why? Meredith Burris Pruitt. You know what? I'm thinking I should do it in three different videos. Because this is going to be long and, You're still going to see these other 2, though. But, different videos. 31-year-old Meredith Burris Pruitt was fired in March 2012 from Forest View High School in Gastonia, North Carolina, after she was accused of selling and employing students to help sell prescription drugs around the school. Jeffrey Robert Sears Jr., a 29-year-old former teacher at Glenbury High School, faces more than 50 years in prison. Goddamn. After allegedly having sex with 15 and 16-year-old students over the course of 2 years. God, you're fucked up. Let's see, is that the last? No, this is the last. Okay. Megan Denham, a 29-year-old social science teacher at Hoover High School in Fresno, California, was placed on paid leave in the spring of 2012 for allegedly performing oral sex on and sleeping with a student who was under the age of 18. People are some teachers. Some teachers. I swear, man. Some teachers make the rest of the good teachers look pretty damn bad. And it's like 37 of these sons of bitches, 37 of these sons of bitches that I'm reading about. Goddamn, you make the profession, look so goddamn terrible. And lastly, California teacher Stacy Hollis was fired from Richard B. Haydock Intermediate School in April 2012 for performing in a pornographic video. Skank. Fucking skank. And after all that, that's it. That really is it. I cannot stress this enough, but I'm sorry, but my final thoughts about this is simply this. Teaching is a noble yet honest profession where you are in charge of leading the next generation of leaders to the right way of life. Your job is to teach them the basics of what they need to know. Whether it's math, geography, social studies, cooking, science, and all the like. Whether it's extracurricular activity or something like that. Your job is to basically hold up that profession with pride. Even though I'm not a teacher anymore, I'm still considered a teacher. To those 36 individuals, I'm going to be perfectly honest. And I'm just going to keep it short and sweet and say, I hope every one of you sons of bitches rots in hell. Because you do not deserve the title of teacher. If you're doing sordid acts of carnal stupidity and lust on innocent, young, budding individuals, your own students, you are not only fucking up their future, but you are fucking up possibly what is supposed to be society's shining moment. But instead, you constantly fuck up by doing something stupid like being in porno or having a sordid affair or sleeping with the student or whatever kind of bullshit that they did. Even hazing. Hazing is the worst thing you can actually ever do in any environment. That's the worst thing you can ever do. And this article right here, once again, I have to thank Ryu for sending me this article because honestly, as a teacher, to me, I feel Mr. Izzy is still gonna remain Mr. Izzy, no matter if I go back to the old school or not. I'm still gonna remain Mr. Izzy. Kids are gonna look up to me, whether they're in first grade or 12th grade. The funny thing is, 12th graders look up to me. Because every time I show up at the old school, the first thing that says, "Hey, Mr. Izzy, how's it going?" And what I do is I pull them in an embrace, give them a pat on the back, say, "I'm doing good. I see you're doing well. I see you're doing just as well. Good job." And move along. I check in every so often when I feel the need has to. But, as I said, being a teacher is supposed to be a medal of honor, and yet you're treating it like shit on a sidewalk. So yeah. To those who are true teachers out there, keep on doing what you're doing. Don't let your cravings, I should say, your personal cravings or your desires stray you away from what you're supposed to be doing. And I'm going to leave it at that. So next up, is I'm just going to actually do this because I'm going to let you guys read this on your own time. And once again, I leave it to the general public, and you be the judge. So next up, mom lets son wear his KKK Halloween costume. On the next article of the news. So stay tuned, and I'll see you around for more EDT.